This is Andrew Wolfson from the Fiercely Independent Network. We're at the Ulster Performing Arts Center for the premiere of The Poet of Havana at the 2015 Woodstock Film Festival. Let's check it out.
I'm here at the 16th annual Woodstock Film Festival, year 2015, presenting my film, The Poet of Havana, with Carlos Varela. Well, I'd spent a lot of time in Havana, so when you're there, you sort of become more sensitive to the culture. And Carlos was one of the musicians I was listening to who I really felt was rather exceptional. He had a really universal sound that I found, very easy to sort of reach as a North American. And it was almost like actually was like I understood what he was saying when I really didn't understand, because I didn't speak Spanish that well when I first started going there. And that to me was something pretty unique. I'm a musician, and so as a musician I realized that he was exceptional. I started getting translations, understanding what he was singing about. When I found out what a great writer and lyricist he was, I realized that I was listening to one of the great most prolific composers of our time, and hence I was inspired to do a film on him. My desire and my goal in making the film was to bring Carlos and his music to a wider audience, and most specifically to the American audience, who really hasn't had the opportunity to know Carlos or his music, and more importantly to know Cuba. And one of the things that's exceptional about Carlos is he really sort of mirrors the last 30 years of what's happened in Cuba. And if you listen to his music, understand his music, bother to get the translations, you're really going to get a sense of the last 30 years of Cuban history. And I think in doing that, for me, it was really important to try and within this film, and with the help of his music, which is really woven into the film as part of the storyline, give people who didn't know anything about Cuba, and many Americans did not because of the embargo, because of the distance. Through this film, I wanted to humanize and show them who the Cubans really were, and to understand that, these people, they're not the enemy. They've never been the enemy. The Cuban people are some of the most generous, wonderful, warm, giving people you're ever going to meet. And this has really just been about governments, jousting, between each other, and it's kept, two great nations of people apart who actually have so much that when, we talked about collaboration, when they finally get together, it's going to be great when the people have an opportunity to meet and they're not kept apart by politics.
For more from the Fiercely Independent Network and to learn more about the festival, log on to woodstockfilmfestival.com.